In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to have an object follow a path. So what it's going to look like is this right here. I've got this little vehicle and it just kind of follows this path that I've created, and it's just a simple way to animate something. So let's go ahead and do that. So first off, I've got this track that I've pre-built, and I did that in an earlier episode if you want to go back and watch that. And then I've got on another layer this truck. So first thing I've got to do is put those together. So I'm going to grab this truck and select all the pieces because right now it's not joined, and if I try and move this, it's going to lose its wheels. So I'm going to select it, hold down Shift, and select all those other pieces. And then over here on my Tools tab, go ahead and click Join. So once I've done that, my centering point is off. I don't want that to be on the side of the tire. So to fix that, then come over while it's still selected where it says Set Origin and do Geometry to Origin. So now it's back in the center, and I mean, if I want to put it somewhere else, I could do that too. So now I'm ready to put it on my track. To show both those at the same time, hold down Shift and click on the other one. And right now, obviously, my truck's way too big, so I've got to shrink that down. So I'll go ahead and press S and go out from a corner and just kind of shrink it down. And I'm going to try and place that in a starting point. So I'm just kind of positioning it. I'm using the scroller wheel to zoom in and zoom out. And then I'm also using the scroller wheel to kind of tumble and get it in that spot. So just a little bit smaller. S. And then I think that'll do for now. Okay. So I've got it positioned. That's where I'm going to have it start, and I'm going to have it loop around this in a little animation. So to make that happen, I'm going to create a path. So to create a path, I'll go ahead and click Create and go down to Path. So it gives me this straight line, and this is my path that I need to somehow get into that spot. So probably the easiest way to do this is go onto a view and look at my top view. So I'm looking at a top view, and if it's not quite flattened, you might also need to change it from ortho to view perspective, so it's just a flat grid. Okay, so I need to play with this a little bit. Right now it's the wrong way. So I'm going to go ahead and press R, 90, and then press X, Y, or Z, depending on which way it needs to go. And that totally messed up, so Command Z to undo, Command Z to undo again. So R, 90. I think I'm good just doing that, so press Return and place it in there. So now that I've got it in there, it doesn't have to be in there yet. I can always move it after, and it's probably a little bit easier if it's just off. So go back to my top view, and now I can go into edit mode. So in edit mode, once I've got that, pay attention to where these arrows are pointing. That is the direction that my vehicle will be going. So if you want to go the other way, then you'd need to rotate this around by pressing A and then R and then 180. It should flip it the other way. So, so now I'm ready to kind of play with my path, and I've got 4 points on this path that I can just kind of start grabbing. This is my start point, so wherever I want that to start, so I'm going to grab some of these and pull them up here and maybe put this right about there. The closer together these things are, the slower it should go. You can also press G to grab, and that can also pull these around. Oh, I've got kind of a weird thing happening there. So let me pull that G to grab, got a point in there. Okay, so once you have started playing with these, and once again I'm just pressing G to grab. Once I'm out of them, because now I don't have any more to play with, go to the last one and you're just going to press E to extrude and E to extrude to kind of start pulling those out. E to extrude, E to extrude, E to extrude, E to extrude. And you can always come back and edit these later. Hold down your Shift key and use your middle mouse to pan. E to extrude, E to extrude, E to extrude. You're just trying to make a simple path around this. So you're just kind of paying attention to the line that has all the arrows, because that's what's going to follow, or to look at. That's my path. So don't worry about the orange part where it's got this straight. Those are just the controllers on you. So my goal is to just make a complete path all the way around, and just cinch it right there. So now I've got my path. Now I'm ready to connect my vehicle to that path. So to do that, I'll go ahead and just click on my truck. And with my truck selected, there's a link icon here. Click on that and then choose follow path. Once I do that, then I'll go ahead and click on this little target, and it's going to target that NURBS path that I created. So when you do that, it's going to kind of go crazy. It's like all the way over here. So don't worry about that. What you need to do is zero out that vehicle. So I'm going to click on that little plus, or you can press the letter N on your keyboard. And on location, I'm just going to do 0 tab, 0 tab, 0 tab. So that should get it on there. And don't worry about it being not on the ground yet. We can fix that later too. So now I'm ready to have it follow the path. Let's do this curve. What that is that follow curve. So you want to follow the curve. And I got lucky this time. It's actually pointing the right direction. If it's not pointing the right direction, or if it's sideways, you can also play with your X, Y, and Z axis, and even the negative ones too. But I'm just on this Y one. And then to see it follow the path, click on Animate Path. And once you've done that, it should follow that path in about 100 frames. And that's how you make it follow a path. So a couple things you can do to edit this now, because right now I want it to go a little bit slower, and I want it to be more on the track. So I'm going to select my track and just kind of bring that down, which is nice. It doesn't mess up any of the animation. So just bring that down. So now it's on there. I could, if I had some jumps in there, I could also come on here and just kind of make it make a jump. Although it's doing something weird though, so be careful about some of this stuff. But you can do a little bit up and down movements to see what that does. Alt-A to kind of see your selection. Let me jump it back down to here. So now it's doing a little bit of that. The other thing you can do I'm going to make it's only going to 100. If you click back on the curve while it's selected, you can tell it to go to frames, and maybe I'll make this a little bit slower. So type in 250, which is my actual time here, and now that goes a little bit slower. So, but that's how you make something follow a path. You can kind of play with it even more if you wanted to.